Hey guys, welcome back to Stitching with Samantha. Today we're going to be making this adorable bow sweater for Christmas. First, you're going to need a knit sweater to embroider on. I got this one at Amazon. I love the ruffles on it. I'll link this in the description of this video. Next, you're going to need yarn. I'm using 2 medium weight yarns and 1 super bulky yarn. The super bulky yarn is Lion brand and the other 2 are loops and thread. You're also going to need a darner's needle. I have this one in my shop and it comes with this kit, and you'll also need a pair of scissors. Any scissors will do. Lastly, you're going to need a pattern. I have this water-soluble pattern in my kit in my Etsy shop. You can also print it yourself. I have a printable version. I will link both in the description of this video. It peels off and you stick it on your sweater, stitch over it, and it washes away with water. To get started, we are going to first peel off our pattern from the backing and we're going to stick it on our knit sweater. Make sure to get any wrinkles out and that it's flat on the sweater. Now we're going to get our super bulky yarn. We're going to get about an arm's length and a half, and we're going to cut it and we're going to take it through the eye of our darner's needle and make sure to twist it and hold it tight when you're pulling it through so it's a little easier. Now we're going to go to the end and we are going to tie a knot. The letter is going to be stitched first in chain stitch, so you're going to bring your needle up and back down at the exact same place through the same hole. We're going to pull it into a loop, so don't pull it all the way through, and then bring your needle up through the middle of the loop about 1 inch ahead. Next, we're going to bring our needle back down through the same point in the middle of the loop. It's important to go through the middle of the loop and not the outside. Pull your needle down, and we're going to leave another loop, and we're going to come up another inch ahead, and then we're going to pull it into our next chain. You're going to continue this process. Each time the loop is going to catch by bringing your needle up through the middle, and you're going to keep doing this for the entirety of the letter. If you run out of thread, you can bring your needle on the outside of your last chain and then bring it on the back, and I like to take my needle through the previous stitches and then pull it into a knot on the back. This just makes sure that it's flatter on the back side, and then you're going to bring your needle through one more time, cut it off, and then we're going to restart. To restart, you're just going to bring your needle up through the middle of the last chain, and then you're going to continue your chain stitches. And then remember, when you end your row of chain stitches, bring your needle and thread on the outside of your last chain. If you need to move to a new section of the sweater and it's a short distance, you can bring your needle through the stitches on the back side and bring your needle and yarn through each stitch to move to the new section. Once you've gotten to the new section, you can bring your needle up through the middle of the chain and start again. Continue making your chain stitches and try to make them the same distance every time so everything looks uniform. To end off our stitching, we're going to bring our needle and yarn on the outside of the last loop, and then we're going to tie off our yarn. Once again, you're going to bring it through your previous stitches, make a loop, and then cut it off, and we're going to move on to our red yarn. With our red yarn, we are now going to whip our chain stitches. So what you're going to do is bring your needle underneath the first chain stitch on the right or left side, depending what hand is dominant. And then you're going to continue going through that same side each time. So I'm right-handed, so I'm going to bring it through the right side each time underneath each chain stitch. Remember to pull your yarn tight each time. You could also use a bulkier red yarn for this effect. I think that would look really pretty too. I chose a medium weight yarn for this, so you could see a lot of the bulky white yarn underneath. Remember to use the same techniques as before. When you end a row, you can go on the back and bring your needle and yarn through the backside stitches to move to a different section. If you accidentally bring your needle and yarn through one of the previous stitches, it's okay. Just go ahead and take your yarn off your needle, and then you're going to fix the problem and bring it out, and then you can restart. To end this, you're just going to bring your needle and yarn to the back of the sweater. Now we're going to prepare our green yarn, and we are going to use a series of chain stitches and lazy daisy stitches for the bow. To start off, I'm going to make 2 chain stitches, and I'm going to veer off to the left a bit. To end my row of chain stitches, I'm going to bring my needle and yarn on the outside of the last chain. Now I'm going to bring my needle up on the side of my last chain, and I'm going to make a lazy daisy stitch. So bring your needle up, and then you're going to bring it back down in the exact same point. And then just like a chain, you're going to bring it up about 1 inch ahead. And then instead of making another chain, we're actually going to bring our needle and yarn back down on the outside of that one single chain. And this is a lazy daisy stitch. You're going to continue this process, bringing your needle up on the side of each lazy daisy, making another lazy daisy, and continuing. When you get to the middle of the bow, you're going to just continue making lazy daisies on the next side. Continue making lazy daisy stitches beside each other, moving down the entirety of the bow. I'm actually running out of yarn here, so when we get to the bottom, we're going to bring our needle and yarn on the outside of the last lazy daisy, and we're going to tie off our yarn. After you're done with the last section of the bow, we are going to switch to our red yarn, and we're going to make little berries in the middle of the bow. You're going to make French knots, bringing your needle and yarn up, and then you're going to twist your needle around the yarn 3 times. Bring your needle back down where you came up while holding your yarn in your left hand. And then you're going to pull it tight into a little knot. To repeat this, you're going to wrap your yarn around your needle, hold it with your other hand, bring it back down through the sweater. Make sure that it's a little bit tight when you're pulling, and then pull it down into a knot. So you're going to do this 3 different times, and it's going to have little berries in the middle of your greenery bow. Now we are ready to wash off the stabilizer. Washing off the stabilizer pattern is really important because you don't want any ink bleeding and you don't want your sweater to be stiff. So what we're going to do first is we're going to rinse off our sweater for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we're going to apply mild dish soap, rubbing it into your stitches. Make sure that you get underneath the stitches, on top of the stitches. Really work the mild dish soap into every. Continue working in the mild dish soap. If you see any discoloration anywhere or any ink, keep applying mild dish soap and rubbing it in. Now you can either air dry it or throw it in the laundry, and you're done. I hope you enjoyed this project and you made an adorable bow sweater for the holiday season.